You can step back 25 feet from what we're doing.
25 feet from what?
From what we're doing.
What is that? Where is that? There's about
Step
12.
back here.
This is from right there?
It's my discretion how far you go back, so keep going back.
A new lawsuit is accusing law enforcement in Memphis of following, harassing, physically intimidating, and even bumper rushing residents who've attempted to video them. The ACLU has filed a lengthy First Amendment lawsuit against numerous officials in the Trump administration and Tennessee law enforcement over a startling pattern of retaliation and harassment by Memphis Safe Task Force agents. The lawsuit covers a lot of ground, but focuses on 4 Memphis residents who, according to the lawsuit, were followed, threatened, harassed, falsely arrested, and in multiple cases rushed with vehicles by task force agents after residents attempted to photograph or film agents' activities since agents' arrival in Memphis back in September 2025. The lawsuit calls the harassment a pattern and practice of retaliation against residents and states the actions are a direct result of federal policy that leaders are not only failing to stop, but are actually encouraging. The lawsuit contains more than 80 pages of alarming accusations of intimidating activity by agents. Allegations include numerous instances of agents using their vehicles to accelerate or swerve towards residents while they were driving, retaliatory traffic stops, agents loitering outside residents' homes in unmarked vehicles after they filmed them, and much more. Twice, according to the lawsuit, Tennessee Highway Patrol officers wrote one of the plaintiff's tickets for a broken taillight, a ticket that he later learned was never entered into the system and didn't even exist, for a taillight he says wasn't even broken. Another plaintiff, the lawsuit says, was tackled to the ground by law enforcement and arrested for resisting officers after she refused to stop filming agents' activities while standing on the other side of the street. She was held in jail for 27 hours and denied food and water for around 9 hours before she was released and her charges were later dropped. One community member noted in the lawsuit is a Tennessee photojournalist who reported being a victim of bumper rushing by agents, or the practice of driving rapidly towards a vehicle from behind to feign a collision before braking or swerving, all to intimidate the driver. Through all these interactions, one common theme is the agent's use of the HALO law, a recent law passed in Tennessee that criminalizes approaching working law enforcement in certain situations within 25 feet if asked to retreat. The law makes no exception for press and has received intense First Amendment pushback for limiting citizens' ability to see what law enforcement are doing. Similar laws in states like Arizona, Louisiana, Florida, and Indiana have all been sued. The Tennessean, along with multiple other news outlets in Tennessee, are currently in a lawsuit against the law as well. All 4 residents alleged multiple instances in which agents would repeatedly invoke the HALO law at them while they were filming, with officers sometimes continuously approaching while invoking the law, pushing them further and further back until they could no longer see the activity at all. The lawsuit is seeking that task force agents' retaliation against people documenting their activities, as well as the application of the HALO law against the 4 residents, be deemed a violation of their First Amendment rights and ceased immediately. Jason Pack, the communications director for the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security, declined to comment on the lawsuit as a matter of policy, but told me that the department respects the constitutional rights of all individuals and expects all personnel to perform duties in accordance with the law. Brady McCarron, the deputy chief of the U.S. Marshals Service, told me that the task force has drastically increased public safety in Memphis and that the department will not tolerate any action that puts our law enforcement officers at risk. He added that they strongly disagree with the allegations in the lawsuit and remain committed to fair, impartial, and professional law enforcement practices to keep Memphians and American people safe.